because he appointed me to be a judge.
Me too.
Before I was a judge, I was a lawyer. I practiced law in Kentucky, and I represented mostly insurance companies, and I practiced law in the area of insurance law. 5 years ago, actually, I decided to change direction of my professional career and become a judge. And so I was appointed to the federal court by President Reagan. There are political parties. We call them nonpartisan elections. But nevertheless, the judges do have campaigns, and they do run for election, and the person who gets the most votes for a particular position becomes a judge. And in the state, the judges serve a term of office that is usually 6 or 8 years. And into the bench. Because the voters really don't often know who the candidates are. The lawyers know, but usually the people are not so informed. But we can debate that. That's the way it is. The federal system, a judge is appointed for life. So Judge Mills and I have lifetime appointments, and we have no obligation to retire at any time unless we happen to want to. Judge Mills and I, as federal judges, civil cases in which people sue each other for money. We handle civil rights cases. We handle cases of discrimination in employment. And we handle all types of accident cases that come to our court, but only if the people in the lawsuit are from different states. If the people are from the same state, then the claim must be in the state court. But if the people are from different states, we'll handle criminal cases, and these are people who are accused of violating federal law, not state law. Most of our criminal cases are in the area of illegal drugs, identity theft, fraud, and those types of things. We rarely get in our court murders or rapes. Those are cases that are normally had and tried in the state courts. That gives you a general idea of the kind of work we do, and I will let Judge Mills speak and say what he wants.
Thank you, Judge Simpson. I'm a country lawyer. I began to practice law in the law office that my grandfather opened in 1870. And so for his attorney, the prosecutor for criminal cases in that county. So after 9 years, I then went to the state court bench. Became a circuit judge, served there for 10 years, and then was elected to the appellate court of Illinois, and was there for 9 years until President Reagan appointed me to the District Court of the United States. And so I've been a judge for 45 years on the first Monday in December of this year. And it's been a hell of a run. I've had a great time. Enjoyed every minute of it. Now, I live in Springfield, Illinois. Now, perhaps you will have heard of Springfield. There are 16 Springfields in the United States. So they're all over the place. But Springfield, Illinois is the one that was the hometown of Abraham Lincoln. And back in those days in the 1830s, when he was admitted to the bar, it was the state capitol after Mr. Lincoln went to the legislature and got them to move the capital to Springfield. There's a story he likes to tell, or liked to tell, in charge of all of the state properties in the state of Illinois. And so if you wanted to use any state property, you had to go to the Secretary of State and get the permission. A gentleman came into the state capitol one day and asked to see the Secretary of State, went right in and said, I would like to use the state capitol for the... What, may I ask, would be the topic of your lectures? He said, why, of course. He said, it will be on the second coming of the Lord. Mr. Campbell says, now, did that get through? We can do a couple. But in any event, that's what Springfield is really looking for. Our federal system, as Judge Simpson points out, handles everything. It is a court of nisi prius jurisdiction. But we're limited to only those things that the law of the United States gives us the authority to do. And it is a marvelous system, as a matter of
Unlike my two colleagues, I didn't start life as a practicing lawyer. I was an academic. Australian National University, and I was appointed directly from the university to the Federal Court of Australia. I should explain a little bit about our system. While we were a British colony and therefore inherited their form of parliamentary democracy, our constitution is founded on the United States Constitution. If you read the two of them, you'd see they're instantly recognizable as having a similar source. Well, not a similar source, but similar content. Our court structure is identical, but with one important difference. There is a state court system with building up to a state Supreme Court, and there's a parallel federal court system. In the federal court system, you've got a small claims type jurisdiction, then two courts that are superior courts. One does only family law, and then there's the federal court. But there's no federal court of
As law, and you could make more money faster. I'd like to explore with you a little bit about why you're here in this building and studying law, and what do you have in mind for your career? Could some of you just go around the table here and tell me a little bit about why you decided to study law and whether you want to be a lawyer or a business person or a judge or right in the middle? Yes, with the Doc. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? It will help us understand you a little better.
My name is Julia, and I think that this profession is necessary for our society. And I wanted to be a juror. Maybe I will work in a court. I think in my childhood I many times seen this job in TV, and
I am very impressed with the students. First of all, many of them spoke English, which is very good for me because I don't speak Russian. But their questions, I think, were very perceptive. They seem to be very interested in our legal system, in the system of Australia, and they seem very curious. And to my mind, that means that they're very smart. So I was very impressed with the law students that we met today.
I certainly was as well. In fact, at the very end, two of the young ladies asked me if you had just a word to say about the law, what is the most important thing? And I summed it up by saying, is it fair? Is it fair? That's the final question that you want to ask of yourself as an attorney. And if you're talking about a legal issue, what is fair? I was very impressed with them.
Thank you.
I would just use two words, vitality, and they've clearly got it, which is wonderful, and curiosity. And they have that with spades. I think you've got a lovely lot of kids.
Thank you so much. Enjoy staying in our city.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
being with you.
Can we have